Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are or wherever you're driving to today on a Wednesday afternoon. It is Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. You are on In the Know with Peter No. My name is Peter No. I am going to be your coach, your best friend, your best business partner, and whatever you want to call me. I'll be that for the next hour for you, okay? And I actually want to see for the first time today on In the Know, how many are here for the very first time? Do we have any first timers on In the Know today? Any first timers? Raise your hand, unmute yourself. Okay, Sarah Anderson. Sarah, unmute yourself.
Hello, Peter. I wasn't expecting that.
I know, I do so many impromptu things on this call. It is not an ordinary call, but how did you hear about us?
Well, I've known about you, but my work schedule has prevented me from attending until just recently. And then Brenda Kelly, who's on, gave me your link and said it was wonderful. I should get on.
Wow. Well, thank you, Brenda. She has duplicated through you. But thank you, Sarah. And well, I'm sure you've seen my recordings then, right?
I have.
Okay. So you're not brand new, but you're brand new on a live call.
Correct.
Well, welcome. And everybody say hello to Sarah. So the reason why I want to start off the call like this today is it's actually a very special day. Uh, Number one, we're going into our second week of the quarter. Everything that we have planned as a team, and this team here, again, it's a team that has been assembled through many different lines. We're all cousins here, unless you're directly in Peter No's lineage. Does that make sense? Other than that, we're cousins, okay? By the end of the day, we're family, right? We want the best for our family. So I call this my Lifeway family, okay? My Lifeway family. So um, in the last 2.5 years on this call, we have talked a lot about the ins and outs of networking. Have we learned something about the networking industry? Okay. We've learned the ins and outs of skill sets, behaviors, tools. What is all this? What is all this? This is called information, correct? How, I want to talk about today, how are you applying this information that you're learning? How are you leveraging this information that you're learning to turn into value? Have anybody heard of the phrase people buy value? They want to know how valuable you are to them. So if you don't know this person, and if you met somebody on the street or in the Starbucks or in a gym or in a library, right, Ann? And you don't know that person, how do you know what kind of value do you bring to that person or to each other if you don't know each other?
Well, you start by engaging with them and saying hi and, hey, I hadn't seen you at the gym before. Do you come here a lot, or what is it that's bringing you? And go down that path with that individual to find out why they're there. What's the compelling reason? Are there any health issues, pain,
Correct.
whatever?
So, but if you and I, if we're two total strangers, aren't we just learning how to make friends?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Aren't we just all learning how to connect as humans and then start a friendship before we exchange any values? But if you've been around the block, if you're older, right? We're not children, we're adults here. We've made many, many, many friends all our lives, correct? So we can gauge, like what Ann said, we can gauge each other, right? To see if, what we like and don't like. And now, Ann, why would you approach this one person? How or why would you approach any person, right? With what you have or with something. Why would you?
Well, to start with, anyone can benefit. However, if you start out by saying, tell me your worst health issue, then people are going to be like this.
Because they don't know you. Why would somebody be openly, intimately with you on a first engagement that they first met you? They don't know who you are.
Yes.
Does everybody understand where we're going with this, right? This is called cold market. Cold market. You need now, and now, now you said it, you want to help someone. You know what you have in your knowledge and your hands, correct?
Yes.
Especially now more than ever, because if you're in this community, why did you join this community? You joined this community because somebody introduced you to something that they knew that could help you with your health. That's it, right? Somebody introduced you, but that person is not a cold market, correct? It was a warm market. That person knew you.
Yes.
I want to open up this call to make sure everybody understands today. What is a cold market? What is a warm market? And what is a hot market? Okay? So, Anne, would you speak differently to a cold market than a warm market and a hot market?
Absolutely.
Would you get different results? Get it? If you can't talk to a cold market the way you talk to a hot market.
No.
Because they don't know you. So when somebody tells me, Ann, I got to build my business in Europe. I got to go to international. I got to go out of state. What state do you live in, Ann?
Baja California.
Oh, Baja. Okay, California, my state. So I mean, in California, we have our population is 30 million people, right? In California.
I was not clear. I'm in Baja California, Mexico.
Mexico. Oh, Mexico. I was there too. I like Baja. I love it there.
Or
Okay,
Arizona or Colorado, wherever you want to call me.
Okay, so I'll reverse engineer. Somebody said, "Hey, I don't know who to talk to. I gotta go cold market." I say, "Okay, take out your phone real quick. How many people do you have on your phone? Are you on Facebook? How many people you have on your Facebook?" The reason why I say that is because if you're ready to get shot down cold because you're putting out energy into a cold market where they don't know you, right, Ann? And you're
Yes.
willing to go through that journey of connecting, trying to make a best friend of a cold market, and that way it's more like a sales, right? That's why they say network marketing sometimes is a sales call or a scam, because what if it's just all these people that don't know each other? They don't know who they are, so they're scamming each other.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense, everyone? But in a warm market now, why do we teach now the PPP so much, Ann?
Because if you don't, you do things like I was doing, and it doesn't work.
And what you were doing is what every brand new person that comes into this industry is doing, meaning they're excited because they found an opportunity, everyone, to represent something. But excitement does not equate to skill sets on how you talk to someone.
Exactly.
Does everybody understand that? That's why we have what we call a system, a duplicated system. Duplicated means it has to be proven that it worked before. Does that make sense, everybody? People say duplication, but that does not mean, for example, Anne, if I taught you something and you taught a 5-year-old the same thing, and that 5-year-old can teach a 50-year-old the same thing, and that 50-year-old can teach a 100-year-old the same thing, that is called duplication, correct?
Yes.
But what did that 5-year-old tell that 50-year-old or show that 50-year-old? And how fast did that 50-year-old learn that to show it to somebody else to inspire and impact that person to make a decision?
It started with how I approached and taught.
Correct. Do you see that aha moment now, Anne?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yes.
can you all imagine, visualize this? How fast the patches work, how fast the water machine will work when you experience it. But what if you're not properly trained or you have not even watched one simple 30-minute PPP video just to learn information, Anne? And that information will translate into value. And that value will translate into monetization, which is called money. And that money will translate into better health, more time, and more freedom. So if we're going to do this business right, shouldn't we all pay attention to what is coming out of our mouth and what are the tools we're using to communicate with that person in front of us? So then we can inspire, impact, and influence them to make a decision on not what you created, but what a team created for you.
Makes all the difference.
What if that makes all the difference where it's saving you 5, 10 years of energy, relationships, and money and time? Time is money. Time is energy. Everything costs time. Now, does everybody understand why I'm so adamant on certain things that we should not be doing because it actually costs time, money, and energy, and it does not equate to duplication? Pretty deep stuff, right, everyone? But if we don't understand this at this level now, and if you don't understand this by now, what if it costs you another year, and another year, and all these people that you talk to from today on? What if you knew there was something better, but you didn't learn it, and you just keep on making the same thing over and over, and then you blame yourself that you cannot succeed, you're not in the right place at the right time, the universe is not blessing me for all this stuff?
That isn't really how it works.
That's wishful thinking.
Exactly.
How many of us have been wishfully thinking of certain goals? But you're wishfully thinking because there's no structure. There's
Yep.
no platform. There's no support to get to that goal.
Yeah.
And everyone, why am I saying this so clearly? Because I was that person, Anne.
You are my hero.
Thank you. But you understand, Anne, I am I'm teaching you something that I personally had to go through. But imagine, everyone, the amount of people that I physically have seen with my eyeballs in my lifetime. I've probably seen more people in my first 30, 40 years than people seen their whole lifetime. So, Anne, can you imagine how many experiences I've seen in my lifetime?
Probably not.
No. But can you imagine how many words I've been told over actions, and I've listened to words more than actions?
How many wrong words you've heard.
Correct. But those wrong words cost time, energy, and effort because I believed that I needed to follow this to become successful at this.
Mhm.
But then they could not teach me that because there was no proven method behind what they did to show me where they got to where we needed to go.
Yeah.
So, why is this such an important time now, Anne? Because in my 20 years of experience, this is my very first time, everyone, that I physically have a system, a proven method that has been developed through 20 years of relationships and different wisdom, especially in the last 5 years, to get to where we are today with these two websites, and whathaveyouheard.com and when you're ready, let's build this now.com. Those two websites have so much wisdom and flow embedded where I can truly say, Anne, I can meet you at a Starbucks. I can start a connection with you, then start developing a relationship with you and get to listen to understand your problems, which is health, time, and freedom. And I know that my technology and my company and my value can change your life if you decide to choose so.
That's exciting.
Can anybody just said what I just said?
I'm sorry.
Can anybody just say what I just said to you? Yeah. Can you just say what I just said to you? And can you press play and show someone this tool?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And I just have to interject, if I may,
Sure.
on the last call, when you called me on it,
Yeah.
which I thank you for. The first thing I did was I sent a text and I said, I sent you the wrong video. Let's set a date. How about this time? And she came back and she said, I can't. I said, okay, how about this time? And I'm following up with her.
And that was one person that you spent a little time hearing valuable information that you applied right away.
Yeah. And I did it because you called me on what I was doing. And I thank you.
God told me to call you that day. Just kidding. So, everyone, now let's go even deeper. We're going to go deep today, okay? Now, what do you do with all this value now? And now we are in a business, correct? We're doing business.
Yes.
The definition of business, which I explained on all my calls, is simply helping someone's life to become better. Simply helping someone's life to become better. That is the act of doing business. So if you're in a business of hair and you're in a beauty business, your job is to make sure that that person in front of you gets the best haircut so they can look good for their job and their spouse so their life could be better.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a mechanic, your job is to make sure that you make that family's car is safe so that family will not get in an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense, everyone? What business are you in right now? Do you know? So, for example, if you have a job, who here has a job? Raise your hand. If you are employed by somebody or some organization, right? You have a job. Okay. If you have a job, Anybody remember the quadrant, the 4-quadrant, the cash flow quadrant? Okay, by Robert Kiyosaki. If you don't know it, Google up cash flow quadrant. And I want to talk about this for a few minutes. If you're on the left side of the cash flow quadrant, meaning if you have a job or if you're self-employed, who here is self-employed? Who here is a dentist, a hairstylist, an insurance broker, real estate agent? You're self-employed. You're a 1099. Okay? If you're 1099 and if you're a W-2 worker, I mean a W-2, a job employee, I'm going to ask you one question, and that question is called my open-ended closer for people to pique their interest. Pamela, can you walk away from your career for 90 days and come back and still things will still be exactly the same or better than when you left? No. Flat no. Why? You can unmute yourself. We can roll. Why? Bottom left, maybe unmute microphone. There you go.
My business doesn't run without me. I do everything. It would close down.
Great. So, meaning that you are responsible, Pamela, from the moment you wake up, your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner revolves all around you. You're responsible. Get it? And you have not leveraged. You have not delegated. Your business model is not set up. Get it? For you to run, or what business are you in anyways?
Personal training.
That is the one. That's like a hairstylist. Okay. I was a barber, so I know exactly where you are. Personal trainers are high paid hourly employees. But again, if you're not in front of a person physically or online, and you're not exchanging that money, and if you're not duplicating other personal trainers, you're not making no money. Now, what piqued your interest about this industry, Pamela? What got your attention to look at direct sales?
The ability to be able to make money while I'm sleeping.
Hey, who here wants to make money while you're sleeping? Look at this. Everybody does, right? Now, you want that. What option or what opportunity have you looked at to get there? None.
Mm.
You know why? Because you don't have the time to look at it.
Yes.
Was that pretty easy, Pamela? You physically don't have the time in your daily routine because of your responsibilities, and you don't even have the clarity of your mindset because you're stuck in your profession, because you're dealing with 5 to 8 different energies every day that control your time.
You clarified and nailed that to a T for me. Thank you.
Bam. Okay, that's a mic drop. First one. I'm gonna do another one. So now on that, at least you found your pain. Is everybody with me? We're finding Pamela's pain right now. Her pain is what? Time. And then we're not even talking about health goals. We're not even talking about financial goals yet, right, Pamela? We're just talking about time right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you even have an opportunity, if something out there sounds good to you, where would you carve out your time to even do it? And how much would it even cost you as far as money to start that project or start that spare time or part-time job, whatever, or business? Where would you even carve that out of your busy time right now?
I really don't have it. I don't have it.
Correct. Now, how many MLM companies have you been with, or is this your first one?
I've been with about 5.
Now, oh, good. No, this is perfect. I'm glad I picked on you right now. Perfect. So, out of those 5, did they all promise you financial freedom?
Hmm.
Did they all say that they have a system that you must follow for you to get free?
Yes.
How much time did that cost you?
Too much time. It was like another job.
And because of that, another job, how many people did you have to go through that first to find that out?
Yeah, I've been through a lot of people that say, "No, now what's Pamela into?"
Now, Pamela, now this is really good. Okay, now I'm gonna go into my how I created the BLD, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, the reason why I'm sharing this is because I want to get into breakfast, lunch, and dinner will equate your cash flow. But out of your cash flow, you have to get out of the left-hand quadrant, everyone. You have to invest your time into leveraging. Leveraging is the right-hand corner, which is leveraging people, Pamela. You got to have a tool or be part of a system or be part of an organization or something that will help you leverage, meaning something that relates to you. You're a fitness trainer. You're not going to go out there and sell bowling balls. Get it? You're a fitness trainer. You're not going to go out there and represent selling cars. That does not align with you. You're now, what aligned with you with LifeWave? What got you excited when you saw LifeWave?
Well, it was the company one, but the that it just helps people be healthy because it's just an extra layer of health regimen.
Correct. So right away in your mind, it piqued you because you saw that I'm a physical trainer. Oh my God, there's this company that does peptides and stem cells with patches. Ding, 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 ding. Maybe I can learn this and apply it to my clients. And if this thing works, that will create little more residual income for me without doing something so much else out. And the cost of joining this is less than $500, which I can do. And that's all products that I can leverage through my clients.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you thought?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how did I even know that? Because
Probably because you've been there.
So now, what you're doing now, Pamela, have you been on the Let's Build This Now website?
I have been there. I have not memorized it all yet.
Have you clicked on, have you felt the flow of that website?
Yes.
Have you understood when you go through the website as a brand new person, by the time you hit every tab, it will guide you on how to become a leader?
Yes.
And through that process, you're learning how to understand your daily time, your time frame on how much it takes to build this business, which is 3 hours online and 3 hours offline. Okay? And the offline is doing the PPP, correct?
Right.
Once you learn the PPP, you're not making any mistakes. That's why you're not wasting time. And now, if you do this on a weekly basis, and how much is the cost of running this business right here, the side business you have? How much does it cost to run LifeWave? $5 a day.
Mm-hmm.
$5 a day. It's your own personal consumption, and then throw in maybe your phone bill, because this is your business. This is your office on wheels. So for $5 a day, Pamela, you did not have to create an IT. You didn't have to pay for the website. You don't have to pay for the training. You don't have to pay for the coaching. You literally are learning to leverage your time, because when you show up on these 3-hour calls, who else are you bringing with you? Your teammates, your workout buddies, your partners. And the moment you do that, Pamela, in orderly fashion, week by week by week, day by day by day, just like if I was your brand new workout client and I'm hiring you as my personal trainer, you're going to tell me exactly what I eat, when I sleep, how many hours I have. I'm telling you exactly where to go, how many hours it takes, how many people to talk to, who to talk to, how do you talk to them, what you send them, how you sign them up, and how you onboard them. Isn't the same thing that what you're doing with your workout clients?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only difference here is every person that you personally give this one-on-one time here in LifeWave, what if 2 of them become a Peter No? That's like saying out of all the years you've been a professional trainer, what if out of the 100 people that you've trained and they became bodybuilders, what if 2 of them really became your bodybuilders? Is this bringing more clarity, everyone, to the flow and understanding where we are with the system? So, Pamela, you are doing 3 things right now by joining us every day. You are creating your future. You're creating literally a leveraged system, meaning you're leveraging people with a company, and you're creating residual income through that process. You're giving us exactly a 3, 6, 9-hour week, so we can specifically know at the end of the week if you've earned $500 this week in LifeWave, and you take 9 hours divided by 500. How much is that, everyone? That's like almost $50 an hour. Does that make sense? That's almost equivalent. I don't know how much you charge for working out with you.
It's 100 a session. Yeah.
100 a session. Let's just say 100 an hour, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So you're worth 100 an hour. But you can't work out 8 hours a day.
No.
Get it? But you can help 8 people go through the system.
Mm-hmm.
And then those 8 people can instantly help other 8 people. So what is the moral of this whole training right now, Pamela? What are you seeing at this moment?
This be able to get out of this left-hand quadrant, get into the right-hand quadrant, show up every day, little bits at a time, and then just be able to leverage other people's
Time.
Yeah. Time.
And if you do this 30, 60, 90 days, 30, 60, 90 days, 30, 60, 90 days, 30, 60, 90 days, that's 4 quarters, everyone. 4 quarters. Every quarter you have to assess, right? Pamela, if you work out with 10 new clients in your gym, and in 90 days, if they don't have a 6-pack, if they don't have muscles, who are they going to blame?
Well, me.
You're my coach. I did everything you told me to do. How come I don't have muscles yet? Same thing with here, everyone. But in network marketing, it's different, Pamela, because it's not based on your personal. It's not based on your time going to the gym. In network marketing, it's based on other people's times. Get it? It's a people business. You cannot dictate what other people are going to do here because you don't know who they know and you don't know their commitment. That's why I always say I can't train you on all this stuff. I only can train you on find someone like you or better than you at that time. And once you learn how to develop 2 people, Pamela, are you better than you were last time?
Oh, yeah.
Then you're going to attract 2 more other people that are going to be at that time. Does that make sense? And then once you develop 2 more people, now you got 4 people you develop. Are you stronger, develop 4 people than you develop the first 2? And then what happens next? Growth, duplication, scaling, growth, duplication, scaling. Now, the beautiful thing is, Pamela, to make more money here does not mean you have to work harder. Everyone, repeat that. You don't have to work harder to make more money here. What you have to do here is just be consistent at doing the right behaviors. Behaviors happen every time you open your mouth. So be consistent when you open your mouth. Meaning, are you asking the right questions, Pamela? Are you still into your health? Of course you are. You walked into my gym. Have you heard about the latest technology in stem cells? Do you know what stem cells can do for you? Do you know what it can do to your muscles, your skin, your hair? Guess what? There's no more injections. My gym has it. I have the technology for you right now. I partnered up with LifeWave. Do you have 3 minutes? Let's watch this video real quick. Can you do that all day, 3 times a day, Pamela?
I can try.
I know. But what if you do this for the next 90 days? And what if maybe you make half of the same money that you do in your workout training?
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. So 3 times a day for 90 days. That's a big goal. I bet you I could do that.
I didn't say how many days. Did I say 7 days? That's 21 people. What if you only do it for 3 days? Try 9 people first. I didn't say 7 days. I didn't say any days. How many days do you want to work, Pamela? How many days you want to work?
I want to work I'd like to work just 3 days a week. That'd be nice.
Done. Your job now, talk to 3 people a day, 3 days a week.
All right.
Make sure you follow up with them. Make sure you go through the PPP with them properly, on board with them. And what if for the next 12 weeks, out of those 9, what if the worst scenario, 1 sign up with you and does what you do?
I'd have a fun business partner. That's what would be the worst case scenario.
Well, in 12 weeks, you might have 12 new partners that are like you or better than you. And then after that, the next 12 weeks, your life is going to change. And then after that, the next 12 weeks, your life's going to change even more because their life changed now. And then one day you're going to make more money here doing less work, 9 hours a week, than you're doing in your personal training. And everyone, that is called your network marketing journey. That's your journey from beginning to the end. You identified that you need to get from the left to the right. You identify your goals. You understand your tools, Pamela. You know your team here. This is your community. This is your team. You understand your partnership with LifeWave. What else do you need to know to move forward and be fire?
What else do I need to know? I think just doing the system, like you said, and then whenever I start making more money on LifeWave, then I do personal training. Then I can quit personal training.
You got it. You got it. And the only difference between today, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 18 months from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now is the people that you talk to. That's the only difference, everyone. Are you talking to people like you or better? And again, better does not mean better than you. Better means bigger networks, more skill sets. Get it? Different. A different person than you. When I say better, just don't get comfortable and recruit worse people than you, lazier than you. Get it? That is what I don't want, okay? I'm going to go into a few questions here, and then I'm going to close out the call because we have to end it at exactly 1 o'clock today. So let's start with Matt, then we're going to go Dr. Ray, and then Don. Matt, unmute yourself.
Hey guys, just want to touch up on some of the things Peter said. I'm a chiropractor, and when I started, how many of you guys owned a business before? Right? Or how many of you want to own a business? Well, for me to start up my clinic, it cost me over $300,000. Okay, and my overhead $1,000 a month. And what I love about this is that my startup cost in this is $300, not 300,000. And my overhead isn't 30,000 a month. It's $150. So, and at the end of the year, I get to write all of it off. So it's like I got free patches and I got healthy. So I love this business. It's awesome. One other thing I wanted to talk about was the whole thing about the fact that we get to do this. Pete was talking about leveraging what we got. You know, business is business. If we understand it, we can apply it to anything, right? So I was able to apply this to my patients. Not only was I able to help them before, but now I get to help them with people with other, I can't say conditions, but other symptoms that people with Parkinson's has, or seizures, or MS. And we've seen improvements in them. And so it's really a joy being in this field that I'm in chiropractically, that I get to help people, but now I get to help them to a whole nother level for a fraction of the cost. And it's made my job actually a lot more fun. Seeing people like with Parkinson's, where the guy's like constantly moving his head. After 2 weeks on the patches, every like minute or two, he'll have a 15-20 second break in his head, and he'll just look at me. I'm like, that's awesome. You're not shaking your head. He's like, yeah, it's been amazing. It's taking pressure off his neck. Or MS patients who like their vision's improving. So I got 2 of those guys. So this is really an awesome company. And not only do I get to do this with my patients, but I like playing pickleball now. And I've noticed a lot of people in pickleball get hurt. So you got instant customers right there. So talk about peaking. You could have fun while you're peaking them, and they'll sign up. So
I think
that's all I
Matt,
gotta say.
I think Matt is just really excited, everyone, because he's really fulfilled now. Of all the companies, everything we've done, I've known Matt for 20 years. He literally was in the beginning of my career in the network marketing. He was one of the very first guys that I tried to sponsor and or call it recruit at that time, Don. At that time, it was recruiting. And the one thing I want to share with Matt is, everyone, what did we train in the beginning? Right, Ann? Relationships, right? I started a relationship with Matt 20 years ago, and it has continued to today. So whoever you talk to today, what if 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, those are your friends that are going to be your leaders or partners one day? Does that make sense, everyone? That is the power of relationships and networking. Dr. Ray.
Hey, Peter, excellent call. Peter, when you were role playing with Pamela, you touched on people who say, well, I've exhausted my contacts, and then you pull out a phone and say, okay, where's your phone? Do you have a Facebook account?
Mhm.
And if you don't mind, Peter, can you continue there, because you seem as though you digressed to something else for because I'm sure there are a lot of people on this call who have
I-
said that.
Yeah, I wanted to go directly because I hear people say, Dr. Ray, I'm running out of people. I'm running out of people.
Yeah.
I have to go build out of state. I got to go out of the country. And then obviously our phone, everyone, when you look at a name, each name, Dr. Ray, has a relationship to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You've met that person somewhere. So before you spend any money traveling somewhere, spending any money connecting with someone, why don't you go back again? And remember, we have a solution to every human. Everyone on your phone here has stem cells. Right? And every one of those people not only have stem cells, but they know other people that have stem cells. So I started a conversation with Anne on cold market. Why are we expending a lot of energy into going into a cold market where you can get shot down because they don't know you, but that same or half of that energy you can get reacquainted back again with people that you built relationships that might be dying to hear your voice.
So Peter, you before we get to Don, the last thing you said is key. So they can hear your voice. You are not saying go to the phone or go to Facebook and I am them or
No.
text them. You are saying
Physically
pick
call
up the
them.
phone and physically call. And that's really what I was getting at, because where you left off, I wanted to seal that for my benefit and the benefit of my team and I'm sure others on the call. Pick up the phone and make the phone call.
And that, Dr. Ray, is the personal touch that we can never get away. We've created every tool for the call. The website, you cannot text that, everyone. It's the call. The What Have You Heard website is your partner for the tool for that call. I'm going to say this again before I bring it to Don and Renee. There are many leaders teaching AI now. Even in our teams, AI is coming in. But what will make you different than AI? Because AI cannot make that phone call for you. They cannot run it. They cannot tell you. They don't know your relationships. They don't know your heart. They're just another voice impersonating, taking your face, your voice, and changing and creating language that is not from your heart. Does that make sense? So imagine, Dr. Ray, if 10 of your friends started to call you and use AI, how do you know which 10 of those friends are real? The one that physically called you and go, hey, Dr. Ray, what's up? Long time no see, buddy. How you been? That is the one that you're going to remember. Does that make sense, everyone? I know there are leaders teaching AI. I think AI is literally a cripple tool. It's going to cripple you because you're going to get so used to things and you're not going to learn the skill sets on how to have conversations anymore. You're just going to be press play. That's what they want, robots. And I don't care if they say, you're going to miss the next trend, the biggest $1 trillion trend in the world. If you don't get into AI, you're going to be left behind. Compared to who? Because there's going to be more people that want real things than AI. And if you don't believe me, try it. Try it out for a year. Try it. I've never done AI. You know what? On my Facebook, everyone, before I call on Don, I don't even have on one of my pictures a filter. I've never even used a filter on my, not alone. If somebody did something for me, it's because they took a picture of me. I did not ever take a picture of myself with a filter. Okay. That's how real I want to be. So,
Thank you,
Don,
Peter.
thank you, Dr. Ray. That was a good one. Don.
Authenticity. Nothing beats
Authenticity. That was the word this morning. Authenticity. Thanks, Don.
I could go on ad nauseum in regards to some of the topics we're talking about here, connecting live with people. We're living in a digital realm. I know this industry has typically been built belly to belly, but we've been empowered. We really have been, with the ability to build these businesses belly to belly, because we can leverage the technology. We can use Facebook video chat where they're still going to hear my voice. I don't want people discounting the amount of connections they've got on their Facebook. But that's not what I wanted to really talk about. What I wanted to address was the significant power and the efficacy of this PPP process that we have for all the people on here who are self-employed. And I was thinking of you, Pamela, when Peter was really sharing with you. You know, we're self-employed and we get caught up in the exchanging time for dollars, but we chose the professions and the businesses and the careers that we've embraced because of a passion we had. And I don't want to see people throwing out the baby with the bathwater, because we can have both things. Why choose one or the other when we can really apply the genius of the ampersand and do both? What I mean by that is, if you begin to apply this process and you are now bringing people in that are going to be helping you generate residual revenue because you've been applying this strategy, it will put you in a position where you don't have to quit your personal development business or your personal trainer business. You can begin to upgrade the clientele now because you're not forced into having to do things simply because of money. You've got a residual revenue stream coming in, and you can begin to be choosy about the clients that you take on and increase the revenue stream on that front. So if it was a passion play at first, allow that passion to really be able to rekindle and keep doing what you love doing while you're generating all this passive income, because this system has brought the ability for everybody to step into and do, whether it be 3 people a day, 3 people every 2 days, 3 people a week. This is your business. You apply it. How badly do you want the freedom? Work your numbers out.
I don't, Don, man, every time, Don, thank you for those wisdom. It really hits hard when you explain it that way. And again, it's everyone, this is a very different call. Okay. Every week we go very deep to understand the human behavior. And thank you, Don, for that. That's very clear. Renee, and then we'll close out the call.
I just wanted to ask something, but before that, I wanted to add something with regards to, expanding our reach. I know that cold market is really hard because you have to work, they don't know you, you don't know them, etc. One of the things that I've learned how to do from a network marketing guru is, instead of trying cold market, work with the people that you have and get referrals from them. Like, who do they know?
Yes. Yes.
What I'm saying? So it is still their warm market. It may be cold to you, but it's warm to them. So it's a little bit better. It's more lukewarm. So it's easier to connect with them because they have a relationship with the people that you know. Okay, so that's one. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. My next question is a personal question, Peter. You mentioned that you were a barber, and I am right now prospecting somebody who has her own business as a hairdresser. And I want to know, how did a barber become a 7-figure income earner after so many years?
Because number one, I was not a regular barber.
Okay.
Okay, I was, meaning that I was the hardest working barber in the industry. I cut 40 to 50 haircuts a day for literally 10 years. Because of that, Renee, I got so sick and tired of not like being like Pamela. I could not go anywhere. Every holiday I could not be anywhere. I could not do anything, and good thing I didn't have a kid or And that's why I got divorced again, because I didn't spend time with my wife, at that time, right? Every time was stolen, but I only did it, Renee, because my parents instilled with me that I needed to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was introduced to network marketing, next week I'll share my story. Okay, everyone.
Oh, okay.
Probably next week I'll share it, because it takes some. You have to understand from beginning to end to get to that answer, in a sense. But my whole thing is I wanted health, time, and freedom, straight up. And when I was introduced to network marketing 20 years ago, exactly what I showed to Pamela, that was my curve. The only problem, Pamela and Renee, I did not have the right guidance. Nobody had a system, and the compensation plan did not help support my energy, and the CEOs and the product lines were phased out. That's why today, what you see here today with LifeWave, David Schmidt, all the leaders here, the compensation plan, the structure, the vertically integrated, Renee, everything, this is like the most perfect storm as an entrepreneur you can ever be in. And that's why the next 2 years, Renee, is the most important years of everyone's career here. And that's why Don and I, all of us, Karen, Cheryl, all the leaders here, we every day, we pour our hearts into the system, because we believe this system is going to set everyone free for the rest of your life. What you're learning here in 90 days, it's probably 20 years of my life, Renee, that you're learning.
Wow.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm saying this very seriously, everyone.
That's amazing. And we
Okay.
appreciate you sharing everything with us, Peter.
Yeah. And when I see 100 callers here, Renee, some people might say that's small. No, I see 100 powerful, committed, dedicated entrepreneurs here.
Yep.
Do you understand that? That's very different than just having 100 people show up.
Yeah. And when you say system, I was thinking about it. It's almost like we have a destination, and that's the SPD. And the system is the map that we have to follow. And most people
Correct.
don't get there because they don't follow the system.
Correct. But because, again, we're changing we're changing the entire industry's programming on thinking that you have to be the product to be the system, which is wrong. Does that make sense, everyone? You're not the product. You're not X39. That is what we're trying to change here. What you are is a solution to the problem. But the way we're teaching you is how to communicate that solution. Does that make sense, Renee?
Yep.
This is what you're learning. You're learning. If I'm going to teach something to the max, I want to teach you the peak and the preview.
Yeah.
Okay? Because it doesn't cost money. It won't cost you time. And I know if you cannot do this, then you will not break through the industry. You will make money, but you're going to work harder to make that money, but you're not going to duplicate as fast as someone that would do this. How do we know? Because we started this on January 1st of 2025. Remember, everyone, we all made a commitment. We're all starting over, including me, including Matt, including everyone in my organization. So thank you for that, Renee. And then I'm going to call to Matt to close it up, and I got to run.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one last thing. Peter talked about the comp plan. Some of you guys know I've been in 47 multi-level marketing companies. And if the comp plan wasn't what it is, I wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
I would just use the product. I love you, Pete, but I'm not going to do it. But the comp plan is awesome. So that's why I'm here.
And everyone, our job this year is we don't talk about money. We talk about how to maximize and max out the compensation plan. Pamela, to do that, you need 3 on the left, 3 on the right, bodybuilders. How do you do that? PPP to identify them. That is gold. There is no numbers, no cycling, no PV. All that does not matter, everyone. What matters is finding the right partners, and you will get there no matter what. People equates to points. Points will equate to money. That's all. Okay? So, did everybody learn something today? Today was deep. Okay?
Today was
No.
deep.
Thank you, Dr. Ray, and thank
Yeah.
you for always sharing your insights. And
Mm.
everyone, every call now for moving forward, it's going to get bigger. It's going to get deeper because this quarter is the second quarter. I'm calling all my personals. I'm calling all my leaders. I see my leader, Annie, here. Okay. I see a lot of my leaders here that been here, committed. But again, we're going into a whole new phase. So this is your time, okay, everyone? I'm going to support you. I'll be there. But tomorrow, see you on the Q&A and the live podcast. Love you all. Bye, everyone. See
Thank
you later.
Peter.
Bye.
Bye, Peter. Aloha. Thank you.
Aloha. Bye, Terry. Bye, Willie.